The city is in destruction and on fire. In the fictional action movie, Homelander asks Stormfront how she could do this to the world. She tells him that the Fourth Reich is in her soul and offers Homelander a chance to reign with her. He tells her no, and the Seven arrive to back him up. Homelander calls Stormfront a Nazi bitch and they fight. Homelander and the other supes watch this scene in a theater at the world premiere of Dawn of the Seven, directed by Adam Burke. Starlight kisses Huey at the premiere and they walk out together to have their photos taken. Victoria Newman is also at the premiere. Stan Edgar announces that Vought is thrilled to have government oversight. Someone in the crowd screams Nadia in Victoria's direction. Huey sees and looks confused as to why someone would be calling Victoria Nadia. Homelander does several interviews about how he fell for the wrong woman and didn't foresee that Stormfront was a Nazi. In the bathroom, Adam and Ashley Barrett have aggressive sex. Huey walks into the bathroom right as they finish. He washes his hands and Billy Butcher shows up. He needs Huey to give him and the boys the green light on a mission they've been working on. Huey gives the okay as long as no torture or things getting set on fire happens. Butcher watches from a hidden camera as the female and Frenchie enter a party. The female sees a woman playing the piano and she starts to sing in her head. The woman introduces herself as Taylor. Meanwhile, a supe, Termite, made himself miniature to have sex with a plastic doll. While the crowd watched, the supe went in the back to do a line of coke. He shrunk and jumped inside a man's penis to sensitize it. He sneezed and unintentionally blew up the man. Frenchie ran in and the supe attacked him because Frenchie saw what happened. He shrinks and jumps into Frenchie's pants. The female manages to grab him before he attacks her. Finally, Butcher catches him in miniature form in a bag of cocaine. Reluctantly, Butcher lets him live and tells Frenchie to call the bureau. Huey and Starlight wake up and stay in bed having sex. Huey works out and makes a smoothie before FaceTiming with his dad. Huey goes into work at the bureau where he helps control and regulate soup activity. Huey sees a man, the same one from the movie premiere, in the lobby who tells him that he's waiting to see Nadia and that he and Nadia are best friends. Huey tells him she's called Victoria Newman, not Nadia. Security escorts the man out and Huey looks confused again. The man tells him that Nadia will remember. Butcher goes to visit Ryan, who is staying in a protected home with Grace Mallory. They play Connect 4 and talk about Ryan's mom, Becca Butcher. Ryan admits he is still having nightmares about his dad killing him. At the studio, Homelander runs into the Deep, who gives him a big hug. Homelander seems confused that the Deep had an interview slot on the Cameron Coleman Hour show before him, but Deep explains it's for his new book, Deeper. Homelander asks again, tensely, how he got a slot before him. The Deep tells Homelander he's a nobody and that he never should have been before him. Mem attends his daughter, Janine's, birthday party where his ex-wife Monique is there with another man, Todd. He seems to miss Monique and asks her to dinner on Friday night for co-parenting chat. She says it's not a good idea. Stan Edgar introduces V-24 at Vought headquarters to Secretary of Defense Dakota Bobby Singer, explaining that it gives any person 24 temporary hours of superpowers. Stan explains his plans for turning Vought into a defense and pharmaceutical company less focused on famous superheroes who need looking after. He wants V-24 to be used in the military. Victoria Newman tells Huey the bad news: they lost the soup Termite because he had too much cocaine, because Butcher caught him in the cocaine bag. Instead of prosecution, Termite is going to a rehab facility and they get B-lister soups to convict instead. Huey breaks the news to Butcher, who is furious they're letting Termite get away with everything. Huey confronts Butcher about being mad that he and MM left the boys. Stan invites both Starlight and Homelander to a meeting at Vought. Stan commends Starlight on bringing a wholesome energy to Vought and the Seven, and he wants to make her co-captain of the Seven. Stan insists that the partnership will help Homelander too because his numbers are down post-Stormfront. Starlight is very hesitant about this and Homelander is extremely upset about having to share the spotlight. A commercial for American Hero airs, where Starlight has to choose the next soup to join the Seven. The feature focuses on a soup called Drummer Boy, now known as Supersonic. It's revealed that he dated Starlight earlier in his career and even had a top song with his boy band that hit #1 on the charts. Huey watches the commercial and sighs. He sees Supersonic laughing with Starlight and walks up to introduce himself. He tells Huey a story about Annie getting drunk and puking in front of a crowd of fans back when she was 19. Huey seems nervous about the two of them reconnecting, especially since they lost their virginities to each other. Annie asks Huey his opinion about the co-captain proposition. She wants to be a role model for millions of girls out there who might look up to her. Huey seems hesitant about her accepting the position, thinking Homelander might murder her. Annie ends up accepting the job and takes promotional photos with Homelander. Homelander confronts A Train about getting fatter, claiming he's just eating his feelings and making the Seven look bad. Homelander seems to be taking out his bad mood from the co-captain thing on others. A Train mutters something under his breath and Homelander grabs him, threatening him with his laser eyes. Maeve sees it go down and texts Butcher that they need to meet. Homelander visits Stormfront in the hospital. She's in bad condition and horribly burned on her face. She consoles Homelander about the co-captain business verbally and sexually. Stormfront talks about building an army of the master race and Homelander tells her he doesn't care about a master race because he is the master race. Maeve hands over a file about Soldier Boy to Butcher and he asks why. Soldier Boy was killed by a secret weapon, one that might even be able to kill Homelander. She tells him that Payback, the super team he used to be a part of, might know what really happened to Soldier Boy. She hands over 3 capsules of B-24 to make Butcher a soup for 24 hours. Maeve tells Butcher that this is their best chance to kill Homelander and not to mess it up. Butcher sees Homelander land on his balcony. Homelander asks to come in and Butcher pours him a cup of tea. Homelander asks where Ryan is and threatens to tear him apart if he doesn't tell him, but eventually relents. Homelander starts to vent about Vought to Butcher, and then tucks his daughter into bed. He opens a closet filled with newspaper clippings about soups including Soldier Boy. Outside the FBSA, Huey sees the same man scream Nadia and follow Victoria. Huey follows them and sees Victoria turn and say that she's not Nadia anymore. The man, Tony, tells Nadia that they used to be best friends and that now that she has a platform she should tell everyone about Red River. She tells him she can't. He pleads and she ultimately says that she will and gives him a hug. His nose starts to bleed and he attacks her. She uses her suit powers to attack back and blows his head up. She tears up and asks Tony why he had to go looking for her. Huey, hidden behind a dumpster, sees everything go down and is horrified, especially when a pool of Tony's blood rains down on him. Victoria calls someone and tells them she's in trouble and that she needs a team to help clean up the scene.